Y'all, I'm still reeling from this D23 news. I'm still reeling from it. The last video that I made talking about what I wanted to see from D23, oh, I got almost everything I wanted. Almost everything. And then more. I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I did it, y'all. I did it. I bought myself a ticket on the hype train, and I'm getting on the hype train. Now, not everything I heard this weekend was amazing, and I didn't love everything that I heard, and some of the stuff they've announced I have some concerns with. They did so much good stuff that I bought my ticket for the hype train, and I'm getting on it and going, you know what? And I'm excited again, and that feels so good. In 3 weeks, will I be as excited about this? I don't know, but I'm this excited now, and I'm happy I got on the train, so it feels good. I know, we gotta go through all the things. There are so many things. I'm not gonna go into huge detail here. Maybe in some future videos, we will take a few of them and give more details and more thoughts. But for right now, we're just gonna do a lightning round and go through everything. I even got a list here so I don't forget everything, because there's a ton. Let's talk about Moana 2 first. We got the first song that we're gonna hear from the movie. I wasn't at D23, so I didn't get to hear it live, but I did see a video that somebody posted of the song, and it was pretty cool. That was one thing we were concerned about. Lin-Manuel Miranda is not doing the music for the sequel, so that was really cool to hear, and to hear, yeah, it felt like it fit the music of the first one very well, so that was good to see. We got more on the story. The story looks pretty interesting. I do have some concerns with it. Maybe this is one of the ones I need to do a whole video on, because I feel like I'd be talking about this too long. But just overall, I am more excited for Moana 2 than I am cautious, although I still have some trepidations with it. But the music sounded good. I like the idea of the story. Let's see what they do with it. And now, Zootopia 2, y'all. They announced what the story is going to be, and it has got me all kinds of hooked. Have you guys noticed in the first movie that there are no birds, reptiles, insects, fish, any other animal within the animal kingdom other than mammals? Yeah, apparently there's a reason for that, because this next sequel is going to focus on them tracking down a snake by the name of Gary. And they even stated in there is a reason why you don't see reptiles within Zootopia, and this is going to unlock some of those mysteries. That got me so hooked. That is a great idea. I'm here for it. I'm hooked. Let's do it. So now let's get to Incredibles 3. Yes, there is an Incredibles 3. I kind of thought they already soft announced this, but this was like the big announcement of it. Yeah, like when Inside Out 2 was going nuts, Pixar already announced that they were looking into doing potential sequels for other Pixar films, naming Finding Nemo and Incredibles specifically by name. So I wouldn't be shocked if we hear about a Finding Nemo 3 coming out soon. They announced it. They announced that Brad Bird is still going to be directing. So all that sounds good. And I trust Brad Bird to look at the problems that people had with the second one to try to make the third one even more exciting. I have hope for it, especially after seeing how well Pixar handled Inside Out 2. Speaking of Pixar sequels, Toy Story 5. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Toy Story 4. I don't think they should be making a fifth one. But there are some things that weirdly get me excited for Toy Story 5. Number one, Andrew Stanton is coming to direct, and he directed Finding Nemo and WALL-E, and I love the dude. He does amazing work, so cool. Come direct Toy Story 5. I'm great with that. Also, it seems like they're gonna retcon Toy Story 4, or at least parts of it, because Woody's gonna be back with the gang again. They didn't explain why or how, he's just gonna be back. And this time they're gonna be dealing with technology, how kids want to be playing with technology more than toys. Interesting premise. So, color me intrigued, especially how are they going to retcon Toy Story 4? Part of me is kind of happy to hear about that, but I also know there's a lot of Toy Story 4 fans who probably aren't going to be thrilled with that, but who knows, maybe Pixar has a way to do that will both appease the Toy Story 4 fans and the ones who weren't the biggest fans of it. Frozen 3 and 4. They didn't officially confirm 4, but they might as well have when you have the literal head of Disney saying it's probably going to need 2 movies, and she said that multiple times now through multiple different venues. It's basically confirmed. We didn't get a lot of story notes here, just a reminder that it's happening, and we got some concept art, and it does have me asking some questions. It's coming. The thing that gets me most excited is that before she talked about Frozen 3, Jennifer Lee did mention that they are working on an original story that's going to be coming out in 2026. Nobody's talking about that online, but she said it, and I'm excited for it, and that's one of the things I wanted. Original stories. Thank you. Speaking of original stories, we got more details on Elio, and I'm a little concerned because they talked about how they changed directors and changing cast, And usually that means, oh, they did some big story changes and big things, and that's sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing. And especially with Pixar, I can only think of 2 other times that happened. And that happened with like The Good Dinosaur and Brave, which are kind of notoriously not the best received Pixar movies. So, hoping this works out for Elio. But then Pixar did announce another original story, Hoppers, where there's like this girl who can like put her brain inside this robotic beaver, and then the beaver is like interacting with other beavers, and they're like infiltrating the society, and they find out there's a beaver king. When you say it like that, it sounds crazy, but it actually sounds pretty fun. So it's an original story. I'm here for it. We finally got a trailer for Pixar's first original series, Win or Lose. And the trailer looks really interesting. There's a lot of different animation styles that they're playing with. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of sports or baseball, the animation looks exciting enough that I want to check this out. Leave it to Pixar to make me want to watch a sports movie. Then we get Dreamlight Productions, which is another series coming from Pixar. And I'm not as sold on this. It's based around Riley's dreams, because in the first movie we saw it's like a big movie setup, and this is a story that takes place within that. I don't know how this is gonna work out, because like, are these short films that are put together as a series like you do on Disney Plus a lot, where it's like 5 2-minute shorts and you call it a day? Or is it gonna be like a series like Win or Lose that's gonna be like an 11-minute story or a 22-minute story in like 12 episodes or something? Because I feel like the shorts is going to be not enough content for people to get what they really want out of it, I think. Or the long ones might be too much because you're dealing with an entire part of a movie without any of the main characters as a spinoff. Well, I'm assuming there's not going to be the main characters. Maybe they will be there. I don't know. So that one I have a lot more question marks around, but it could be great. Now into the live action territory, we got a new Mufasa trailer, which really shows that they saw the notes from the first live action Lion King and really made sure that they gave some emotions to these characters. Like, look at these faces compared to this. It is a very big difference. So I think that's gonna help a bunch of things. And on top of that, the story does sound interesting, even if it does sound a little retconny, but who knows? We'll see what they do with it. But you know, I'm over here clamoring for Lion King content all the time. I will take what I can get. Oh, don't worry. We'll talk more about Lion King here in a second. Next, they released the first trailer for Snow White. Looked fine. Nothing really got my attention. Nothing really made me say ew, so okay. The Lilo and Stitch live action movie got a release date, and we got the reveal of Stitch. And I think it looks pretty good. And I love the fact that they have Chris Sanders still doing the voice. That is a big thing. Thank you for that. We got news on the Mandalorian movie that basically it's happening. They didn't go into a lot of details, but they did show some scenes from like the sets and things, and it does look interesting. I really hope that this will bring the Mandalorian back after the last season. It needs a little pick-me-up. Next, we got the third Tron movie, Tron Ares. I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of Tron. Like, I've seen the first Tron and Tron Legacy, and they're okay. I mean, the light cycles are cool, but I don't really care about the characters or the story. This one didn't really do much for me, but I'm not the biggest Tron guy out there. Then we got a sequel to Freaky Friday. I honestly didn't see that coming. We have Freakier Friday now. Well, that was a nice little thing. That was pretty cool. Then we got an announcement about a live-action original movie. I can't believe we have 4 original movies to talk about. It's kind of sad that I'm saying that, but we have a 4th one to talk about. This one is Monster Jam, and it stars The Rock, and it's got monster trucks. That's basically all I know. Then we got Skeleton Crew from the Star Wars universe, and at first I didn't really care much because I'm kind of falling out of Star Wars in the last couple of years, but this one does look interesting. It's a group of kids that get like stuck on another planet. And I'm like, okay, this is what I've wanted from Star Wars. Go away from the main Skywalker story and all that, and just give us a story within the Star Wars universe that is not connected. I'm sure they're gonna find a way to connect it. Don't connect it! We got the name for the new Avatar 3 movie, Fire and Ash. Looks like the first movie was mainly on land, the second movie mainly in the oceans, and now this one looks like it's gonna be primarily in disguise. So that's cool. They mentioned some Broadway news. We're getting a Broadway Hercules show. They're gonna be making The Greatest Showman as a Broadway show, and they're gonna be putting the Broadway Frozen onto Disney Plus, like they did Hamilton. Do this with more Broadway shows, Disney. I get you're not gonna do that for The Lion King because it's still playing, but any of these shows that aren't playing, release these videos, like for the Tarzan Broadway show, and I think Aladdin's still going, so maybe not Aladdin, but like Beauty and the Beast isn't running anymore. Let us see that. Release more of these. I would watch all of them. But then we got more news for Percy Jackson, it was Agatha All Along, Daredevil, Ironheart, and the new season of Andor. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really paying attention to a lot of these, so I don't really have a lot of things to say other than they announced stuff about it. If you want to go check it out, you can. I might check out Agatha, and I should probably watch Andor, because everyone actually tells me that's a good one. But anyways, that's it for like the movies and TV shows. Now let's gotta get into the theme parks and experiences, and buckle up, you guys. Now, before we get into all that announcements, I have to say what they said at the beginning. They said, no more blue sky concepts. They're done with those. All of these things they announced are things that are actively in development. Either like they are being put together as we speak, ground is about to break on some of these, building is about to start happening, they are greenlit, they are happening. Thank you! And first, we are getting a Villains Land at Disney World. Yes, 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 yes! Secondly, Disney World is getting a Cars expansion, which looks like it's not going to be exactly like what we have in California now over in DCA. It looks like it's going to be kind of its own thing, which that's really cool to have like a different Cars experience over there. Although they did announce, as the time of me making this video, they didn't announce it's at D23, I don't think. But they did announce they're going to get rid of the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island to put Cars there. I know a lot of people are not going to be happy about that. I personally don't care because I know that Disney World doesn't use the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island like Disneyland does. Like that's where our Fantasmic is, and we have a lot of boats that go through there. Disney World doesn't have as much of that, so I could see them wanting to do something with that. But speaking of Disneyland, they did mention some stuff for us. Like we are getting the first Coco attraction. It's going to be somewhere in California Adventure. I'm assuming it's part of Disneyland Forward, so it'll probably be in one of the new areas that they open up, so that's exciting. It's going to be a water ride. They said they're taking a lot of inspiration from like Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, and like relying primarily on animatronics, so that's exciting, and it looks like a high capacity vehicle and everything. That's what we've been asking for. Thank you. They also talked a little bit more about the Avatar expansion that California Adventure is going to get, that is going to be based around the second movie. So we're not just going to get straight up Pandora from Animal Kingdom. And at first I was worried that it was like a river ride. I'm like, oh no, we're getting Na'vi River Journey, aren't we? But no, it's its own original thing, and it actually looks really cool. I'm like, all right. Make it an e-ticket attraction. It doesn't have to have like crazy stuff, but it needs to be a really good dark ride. And then it looks like they're finally gonna finish Avengers Campus. Yeah, because whenever they announced Avengers Campus in the first place, we were supposed to have an Avengers ride, and the ride never came to be. But now they're like, we're making the ride. We have the story. Here it is. Here's what the ride vehicle is gonna look like. We break ground soon. Great. And then they were like, you know what? We're gonna add an extra ride just because we can, and it'll like double the size of Avengers Campus. All right, Avengers Campus needs help. Go right ahead. Avengers Campus needed help from day one, but they're getting it, which is great. We are getting a new animatronic at Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln at Disneyland, but it's Walt Disney. You have an animatronic Walt Disney that's like talking to you. That's so cool. I heard rumors about this, but thought there's no way they're doing that. There is no way, and they did it. I was like, that's so cool. Love that. All for like the big Disneyland 70th anniversary, so that's going to be an exciting time. I definitely want to come check that out. Now back over to Disney World, we're getting a Monsters Inc. land there, along with a door roller coaster. A door roller coaster. It's like you're in the doors and Monsters Inc. and I've wanted that ride forever, and it's gonna come, and I'm excited, and yes! And Animal Kingdom, they did go forward with getting rid of Dinoland USA, and in its place, we are gonna get the Encanto attraction and the Indiana Jones encounter, and they have said both are going to be themed to like South American wildlife, and I am excited about that. Looks like Indiana Jones is going to be like after a mythical creature within South America, and then I'm guessing by this concept art with Encanto, it's really heavily focusing on Antonio and the animals, so I'm betting that that's going to be a big thing. They said you're going throughout the whole house, but I'm sure like a pivotal part will be Antonio and the animals. And we got this carousel, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you look at it, they look to be like all the animal characters from Disney's IPs. So that's really cool. And looks like, yeah, It's Tough to Be a Bug is going to be leaving the Tree of Life Theater, and instead we're going to have a Zootopia show. I don't really know how to feel about that, because the whole point of Animal Kingdom is to talk about like conservation and wildlife and animals. And yes, Zootopia is animals, but Zootopia is very much a human movie that happens to have animals in it, and I don't know how much like conservationist stuff they're gonna talk about, unless maybe they go to like, I don't know, maybe they talk about like their history and their past and stuff whenever they weren't civilized, and they can do stuff like that. I don't know. There's potential here, but I'm also a little like, please be respectful to the original theme because animals are amazing. They announced a new nighttime show at Disney World. That's cool. I still don't know why we don't have Paint the Night anywhere. It was a show they ran for like a year or two and then just seemed to fall off the face of the earth. It was a great show. Why is that not going anywhere? But yo, bring back the Main Street Electrical Parade every 5 minutes, but we can't get Paint the Night again? That was a great parade. What happened to it? I don't know. That's my own hang up. They're gonna add a new mission on Smuggler's Run to get Mandalorian characters in there. That sounds cool. And they did announce 4 new cruise ships that are coming up to the Disney cruises between 2027 and 2031. So when they're done, they'll have 12 cruise ships. That's really cool. At Disney World, they announced some new lounges opening up at Epcot and Magic Kingdom, and that's fine. I'm probably not gonna go to them because I'm not a drinker, but you know, if you want to go check it out, they look pretty cool. And let's see, there's some rides at some other theme parks around the world and other things like that, but you know, I think I've covered just about everything. And oh yeah, one last detail. They're making a Lion King land! They did it! They did it! They're making a Lion King area with a Lion King ride, and I'm so happy. I audibly squealed when I saw that news on my phone. I literally went, it was so excited! Looks like it's gonna be a log flume drop attraction. Not my favorite attraction in the world, but you know what? I want more Lion King content. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm here for it. I'm good. This is absolutely one I'm going to make a longer video about because I have a lot to say about this. Oh, I'm excited. It's going to Disneyland Paris. They're going to have not just a ride, but also a full land that's going to be called the Pride Land. So you can shop there and dine there. And why does Disneyland Paris get me more than Disneyland California or Florida does? It's too far. I'm a little confused because when they were announcing it, it sounded like they were talking about, they were basing it on the 1994 animated film, but then the concept art looks like it's more towards the 2019 Lion King. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'd prefer the animated version, but I will still take the live action one. I don't care. I just want Lion King and you're giving it to me, so thank you. So with that, we went through all the major news. There was some stuff I left out just because I can't cover everything, y'all. There's way too much. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments which of these you want to hear me talk more about. I 100% am going to be doing a video about the Lion King land, and then maybe some stuff with some of the stuff coming up closer, like Mufasa and Moana. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know in the comments. Are you guys as excited as I am? Do you guys feel like the Disney drought is finally beginning to lift? You know, let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? I'm hyped. I hope you guys are too. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!